We'd like to reconvene our Monday, March the 24th regular session board meeting. Mrs. Troublefield, would you call roll, please?
Mrs. Briggs? Here. Mr. Cathell?
Here.
Mrs. Klein?
Here.
Mr. Neal?
Here.
Mr. Peden?
Here.
Mrs. Pryor?
Here.
Mr. Steele?
Here.
Mrs. Taylor?
Here.
Mrs. West Warner?
Here.
Mrs. Wright?
Here. We do have all 10 board members present. That does constitute the quorum. I would entertain a motion for 3.02 to approve the agenda for March the 24th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. Now I would ask that we would all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. .04 Student Government.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Stella Yannick, and I currently serve as President of Student Council. I'm here to tell you all about the month of March and all of the activities that have occurred. March has been a busy month, but students and staff have worked hard to achieve a lot. To begin, in the academia section of March, many big milestones have occurred. Starting last week, the PSAT and SAT tests began. The junior class took their SAT last Wednesday after studying for months. Freshmen and sophomores will be taking the PSAT in the following Wednesdays. This exam tests students' knowledge universally and shows growth and improvement. Following the SAT and PSAT, AP testing is soon approaching in May. This means that students are starting to wrap up their final AP units and begin to review the entire course. AP classes take a lot of hard work and dedication from students, so in these final months, good luck to everyone in keeping and in preparing. Lastly, touching up on academics, seniors are committing to colleges in a wide variety of schools, from University of Delaware to University of Miami to University of Chicago and more. The seniors' hard work has officially paid off, but their work does not stop here. Seniors are applying to scholarships left and right, working hard in their final months. Moving forward, not only have students been working hard in the classrooms, but they have been working hard out on the sporting fields. Spring sports have started their preseasons, such as boys volleyball, boys and girls lacrosse, girls soccer, tennis, golf, track and field, baseball, and softball. This year of spring sports shows a lot of promise and talent. Good luck to all of our athletes. Next, I would like to highlight a big accomplishment from a specific sporting team at IR. On March 9th, Unified Basketball won the state championship, the score being 35-34. In the last 10 seconds of the game, they were down by 1 point, but working together as a team, a two-pointer was scored, winning IR the third state title championship of the year. Congratulations to all the players. Your hard work shines through the trophy. To continue, the most active part of March has been the club activities. Many clubs have been hosting fundraisers, bringing in money to help support their club and all their goals. To start, a bake sale for Educators Rising was held last week with participation from students baking to handing out the goods. There was also another bake sale 2 weeks ago held at Texas Roadhouse for PBIS that Leo Club members helped by selling the goods and or baking them. Moving on, FFA has also completed their annual strawberry fundraiser, selling strawberries to students and staff to raise money for their club. Following the strawberry fundraiser, TSA has partnered with Leo Club, and they are running concession stands for girls lacrosse, volleyball, and soccer. The money raised will go towards the TSA National Conference at the end of June and beginning of July. Also, BPA has their national competitions in May and have started several fundraisers for those as well. There are a lot of fundraisers this month, and with many Leo Club volunteers and other willing students, all of these clubs are able to raise the money they need for competitions and furthering their clubs. Lastly, in late February, the Environmental Act Club took a field trip to University of Delaware and went to the YES Summit, where they learned all about the environment. They learned things from how to be environmentally friendly in the medical field to how bees contribute to human health. Then, during March, a presentation to all the members in the club were given, sharing the knowledge that was learned. Finally, there has been other community involvement to be shared. In the second week of March, IR hosted a blood drive where many students and teachers participated to help save lives. This was a very important event for our school, and when the blood bank of Delmarva came to take blood, students and staff showed up ready to help, even if they were scared or anxious. To follow, yearbook photos for various events/clubs have been taken, showing the signs of wrapping up the yearbook. Many students show up to get their picture taken and be a part of the club on paper. Lastly, this year's Senior Assassin is being organized by students. Senior Assassin is a fun game seniors play trying to eliminate each other with water to make some final high school memories. The highlight of Senior Assassin is that all of the money will be donated to an IR graduate who's battling cancer. Hopefully this student knows how much IR supports him in his battle, and he is constantly in our thoughts. As the year comes to its last final months, although the days are going to get longer, the Indian River pride and success will never die down. Thank you all for listening and have an amazing night.
Thank you. .05, approval of the regular meeting minutes for February the 24th, and 3.06 for the approval of the executive session minutes of February 24th. I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. 4 is recognition.
Thank you, Mrs. Wright. Our first recognition this evening comes from Philip Shaw, their 2025 Carson Scholar, and I'd ask Mrs. Kerr to join us at the podium.
Good evening. Tonight, I am very proud to recognize Philip C. Shaw, fifth grader, Kate Dorman. Kate has been chosen as a 2025 Carson Scholar. With this honor, she will receive a $1,000 scholarship award that will be invested for her college education, along with a medal and a certificate. Kate was chosen for her outstanding accomplishments in the classroom, in the community, and for always showing integrity. We are extremely proud of Kate Dorman and really, really glad to have her here tonight to come up and accept an award. Kate?
Our next recognition is 2025 Sussex County Junior Honors Band, a student from Selbyville Middle School. Is a representative from Selbyville Middle here today? Mr. Forgen.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Clay Reapin. He is our band director at Selbyville Middle School. Does a fantastic job with our students. The students that participated in the Sussex County Junior Band concert this past month played amazing. Not just Selbyville Middle School kids, but Millsboro Middle School kids and from around the county. So, Mr. Reapin, if you could join me, please. We have two students to award tonight.
I have the honor of bringing up Mr. Mark Capo, playing saxophone, first chair. I also have the honor of bringing up Mr. Kevin Yang, playing flute, third chair.
Okay, our next several recognitions come from Indian River High School and Mr. Williams.
Thank you. Each year, the Carson Scholarship Program awards students who have embraced high levels of academic excellence and community service. To qualify, students must attend an accredited K-12 school in the United States and have a minimum GPA of 3.75. We have 2 students here tonight being recognized for their continued academic and humanitarian achievements. Maggie Baer and Evan Fortune. At this time, I'd like to ask Indian River's Choir Director, Ms. Laura Carey, to join me on stage as we present awards for our All-State Choir and Eastern Choir.
Good evening. The students that successfully auditioned with other students from all over the state of Delaware for the Delaware All-State Choir Festival, which took place earlier this month, are Sarah Labarias Figuillas, Madeline Clattenburg, Nicole Carter, Madison Morgan, William Yanuzzi, Nicholas Oneschuk, Gabriel Young, Sean Caldera, Joaquin de los Rios, Madison King, and Taylor Mack. And finally, we have 4 students that will be traveling to Hartford, Connecticut over spring break to participate in the biannual All-Eastern Choir Festival. And those students are Sarah Labarias Figuillas, Nicole Carter, Madison King, and Gabriel Young.
Next, I'm going to ask IR Band Director Ms. Deacon to join me on stage to present certificates for All-County Band, All-State Band, and Junior County Band.
Tonight I get to recognize some truly amazing students who have put in a lot of hard work and dedication to achieve something incredible. Getting into these ensembles for All-State and County Band is not an easy task. It takes countless hours of practice, determination, and a real passion for music. These students took on that challenge on their own, and their effort has paid off in the big way. This year, 16 students at Indian River High School earned a spot in County Band, with 6 of them securing the principal chair and 5 of them earning second chair, which is an amazing accomplishment. On top of that, 3 students made it into All-State Band, and with 2 of them earning the principal chair and 1 of them also earning a spot at All-State Orchestra. These achievements don't just happen by chance. They happen because of students who push themselves, who love what they do, and who never stop striving to be better. So I'm beyond proud of all of you. I'll start with All-State Band. Nicole Carter. Nicholas Onashuk. Zachary Hearn. And Zach Hearn also made it into All-State Orchestra. Oh, you want? Yeah, no, you're gonna get 3. It's like, next, we're going to do a senior county band. Maria Benavides Cortez. Maria Callas. Nicole Carter. Leo Cash Velasquez. Joaquin de los Rios. Evan Fortune. Zach Hearn. Caitlin Koff. Jose Ojeda Hernandez. Nicholas Onashuk. Gabrielle Riebel. Allison Schwartz. And Logan Truitt. And then next we'll have our junior county band, Mira Alone and Kylie Onashuk. Kylie Onashuk.
Next, we have our first place winners from the BPA State Leadership Conference. These students will be traveling to Orlando, Florida in May, competing in the BPA National Conference. First place in legal office procedures. Oh, before I do that, I need to ask the BPA advisor, Ms. Tori Huck, would you please join me on stage? Sorry, I forgot you. First place in legal office procedures, Catherine Bunning. First place in economic research, Wilson Mendoza Velasquez. And first place in device configuration and troubleshooting, John Blanchard. Next, we'd like to honor Coach Phil Townsend. Coach Townsend's dedication to both the football program and our school community has played a crucial role in the team's success. The countless hours spent working with the boosters, coaching staff, building strong relationships with our community, and fostering a positive environment for our players have truly paid off. It is my pleasure to announce the Delaware Class 1A Football Coach of the Year, Phil Townsend. Next, we'd like to recognize a few of our players. Delaware Class 1A Football Offensive Player of the Year, Darnell Stokes. Next, we'd like to recognize the Delaware Class 1A Football Lineman of the Year, Nolan Staniszewski. You guys can remain on stage. In the Class 1A state championship game, Indian River rallied from a 10-point fourth quarter deficit and scored the game-winning touchdown on a 51-yard trick play with 1:31 remaining to defeat the previously unbeaten defending state champion Tatnall School, 47-45. It is the third state title in the school's history, and at this time, I'd like to ask all the coaches and the players, please come to the stage and be recognized. now recognize another team hot off the press with our third state championship this year. I'm trying to beat Mr. Steele's record. I'm not sure how many he had in 1 year, but I've got 3. Unified sports provide high school students with and without disabilities the opportunity to train, practice, compete on the same field, and form a lasting relationship. In an electrifying final, Indian River High School's unified basketball team secured the DIA Unified Basketball State Championship with a thrilling 35-34 victory over Cesar Rodney High School. The championship game came down to the wire, with Indian River clinching the title with a buzzer beater finish. At this time, I'd like to recognize the coaches, Coach Jamal Bivens, assistant coaches Glenn Tuckmantle, Mrs. Lorianne Setman, Ms. Allison Wright, and I'd like to ask the unified players to please join your coaches on stage to be recognized.
As they're leaving, how about we give them another round of applause? At this time, we come to 5.01, public comments. And we have several that are signed up. I would read the statement to you that the school board welcomes the opportunity to hear from the public during our public session comment session at the beginning and end of each public session. Members of the public speaking as individuals or a member who represents an organization will be allotted up to 3 minutes. As per board policy BDDH, in order to comply with the First Amendment, the board will not entertain protracted public comment within favor of or against a staff member. If a speaker makes defamatory statements or invades the privacy rights of a student or employee, the speaker is responsible for such statements and may be held liable. We thank you for adhering to this policy when you are sharing your public comments.
Thank you. First up, Georgianne White. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Georgianne White. My friend and colleague, Lewis Briggs, could not be here tonight. We are both graduates of Sussex Central High School, class of 1970, the first class of Sussex Central. Over the last 5 years, great efforts were made to review logo usage within the district and to determine the most distinguished logo for the new Sussex Central High School. A logo committee was formed, and ultimately a branding and style guide was implemented. Nevertheless, the Rutgers logo is currently the most used logo and even appears on Sussex Central High School's letterhead. Despite an assurance that the original logo and current logo could coexist, they have not. Regrettably, the knight on horseback is rarely used. Lewis's and my objective from the beginning of this journey was to return the Golden Knight on horseback to its befitting place as the official logo of the new Sussex Central High School. When the new Indian River High School was completed in 2005, they did not change their logo. They honored their history and identity by maintaining their original logo, the Indian Chief. Sussex Central should follow their example. We understand that your time is precious. However, we are asking that before the next board meeting, you carefully read our letter with thoughtfulness and an open heart. In addition, we also ask that you discuss and make decisions regarding the 6 recommendations we outlined in our letter for the new high school. The Golden Knight on horseback deserves more than a place of honor at a new high school. It deserves to be the official logo. We are asking for a return to our roots and to our original identity. Consider this. What is most valuable to Sussex Central? Its long-standing history and original identity, or a shared logo from another institution that was chosen and adopted by only a few people?
15 seconds.
Remember, Sussex Central equals Georgetown and Millsboro. It does not equal Rutgers University and Millsboro. I sincerely appreciate the time you have given me tonight to speak and would be happy to meet with you individually or collectively. Lewis and I look forward to seeing this proposal on the agenda and decisions made in the very near future. Do you have any questions for me? And did you receive your folder? Okay, very good. Can I give something to Jennifer?
You can, if you leave it right there at the podium, we'll grab it. Thank you.
Just leave it here on the
Yes,
stage.
on the stage is fine.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Dawn Keenan.
Before I start, I'd like to congratulate all of the people who were honored this evening. I saw a lot of Excel students, including all 3 of the Ben Carson Scholarship winners. I'm Dawn Keenan, and I have been teaching since 1984, and I've been a part of the Excel program since 2004. Excel is our district program for gifted students in the 4th and 5th grade. Before I go any further, I want to make it clear that my comments are not meant as any criticism of our hardworking classroom teachers and staff. I've had the privilege of working with many of them as I have taught Excel in all 8 elementary schools. Excel identifies gifted students through measures including IQ scores and DESA scores. It's the only program in our district that's specifically designed for the needs of gifted learners. Excel is innovative. We were the first to use STEM and robotics in elementary, giving students exposure to cutting-edge technology. In fact, in 2017, Excel received the Superstars in Education Award. Excel prepares students with skills that are needed for success both before and beyond graduation. Gifted students have very unique needs. These students think abstractly, they learn quickly, they're empathetic, and they have advanced problem-solving skills. Our curriculum nurtures those talents while adding creativity and out-of-the-box thinking, skills that help them grow into curious, lifelong learners. Their needs simply can't be met in the regular classroom. Just as additional help is provided for struggling students, gifted students also deserve specialized support to reach their full potential. Cutting Excel would hurt not just these students, but our entire community. These young learners are our future doctors, lawyers, educators, and leaders. They are the individuals who will shape tomorrow, and taking away this program would be a disservice to them and our society. I urge you to consider the lasting value of the program. These students are our future, and Excel is a vital part of helping them get there. Please keep Excel intact for their sake and for yours. Thank you.
Terry Yvonne.
Some of my favorite memories from elementary school are from my Excel class. I have heard this sentiment over and over again. Most recently on Friday, when I spoke to a current fourth grade Georgetown Elementary teacher and former Excel student, Alexis Greenlee, who some of you may know. I'm Terry Yvonne, and I teach the gifted at Lord Baltimore, John M. Clayton, North Georgetown Elementary, and Georgetown Elementary. Excel is a favorite class of many past and present students because it makes a difference in their lives. Former Indian River Excel students have gone on to receive master's and doctorate degrees. They are teachers, computer scientists, dental hygienists, physical therapists, and psychologists, just to name a few. Some of you may yourselves have been Excel students, or parents of Excel students, or Excel teachers. Dr. Seuss said, "Why fit in when you were born to stand out?" Gifted students are born to stand out, and the Excel program in the Indian River School District provides that foundation. Excel provides the opportunity for out-of-the-box thinking and ways to develop problem-solving skills. Creating lifelong learners as well as creative thinkers is the goal of each lesson presented in Excel classrooms. In the last 2 years, the students have designed and built candy catapults, solved a mystery about who stole the chocolate recipe, demonstrated chromatography, and experimented with cohesion and adhesion of water. The National Association for Gifted Children states that the higher level of education dosage or acceleration early in life is associated with higher educational, vocational, and creative achievements decades later. Some of the most capable students end up not using their academic potential unless they are appropriately challenged. In the Indian River School District, the gifted students are currently given the opportunity to be challenged. Now, the simple solution would be to cut this program, which has been in the district for decades, to save some dollars today. But I'm going to ask each of you to use your creative problem-solving skills and ensure that even in light of current budget restraints, that you find a way to continue this valuable program for our students. And just let me know if you want me to put our brightest IRSD minds on the task to brainstorm some ways to save money and this program. After all, Excel students are experts at coming up with solutions to difficult problems. Thank you.
Thank you. Kate Dorman.
everyone. My name is Kate Dorman, and I love Excel. I am only 11 years old, yet I am up here because of the Excel program. When other kids are sad to come to school on Monday, I am happy because I know I have Excel. Excel is a great way for kids like me to be challenged. School would be boring if every kid wasn't challenged enough. Excel is fun and challenging. Excel gave me the chance to be here right now because it gives me confidence. Excel motivates me and gives me opportunities that I would never get to do if I was anywhere else. Please keep this program going for other kids to experience and enjoy just like me. Thank you.
Bailey Kroback.
Hello, my name is Bailey Kroback, and I'm a student at Sussex Central High School. I'm here today to address the incoming effects of the recent referendum and how your hypocrisy and failed financial management will now affect thousands of students across Sussex County. As we all know, due to the failing of the recent referendum, essential school programs, teaching roles, and support staff are now at risk. This is not fair to the teachers, students, and families within our district. Your poor financial decisions should not affect the trajectory of others' livelihoods, while yours personally remain untouched. I am currently an international baccalaureate student at Sussex Central High School, and am concerned about the program getting cut. This program was one of the sole reasons why I chose to attend Sussex Central, as I know it would allow me to challenge myself and reach my academic goals. I previously came from Maryland, where I was enrolled in advanced classes. The IB program allows me to continue my academics along this pathway, and it has allowed me to make amazing friends and form strong connections with others. I've had amazing educational experiences taught by exceptional teachers, most of which unfortunately do not have tenure. By taking this program away, you jeopardize my education, my classmates' education, and my teachers' careers. Furthermore, the effects of your financial decisions affect the sole reasons that students want to come to school. By putting programs such as theater, middle school sports, and extracurricular clubs on the line, you cut out the very reason that many students love about our schools and what drives them to wake up in the morning and attend their classes. I sincerely hope that collectively as a board you decide to put the students' needs before your own and decide to save staff positions, the IB program, and various other educational opportunities. Thank you for your time. And
Megan Kroback.
She's a hard act to follow. As a parent, taxpayer, and employee who moved from out of state this summer, I'm incredibly concerned about the consideration to remove the IB program at Sussex Central. I personally came here with 17 years of education experience in special education and as an assistant principal and principal. I'm certified in infant to adult special education, secondary social studies, elementary education, administration, and national board certified as an exceptional needs specialist. I further have a 2-year graduate certificate in school management and leadership from Harvard Graduate School of Education and Harvard Business School. This informs my alarm at the financial situation and academic standing of the district. Our daughter is thriving in the pre-IB program, the only place she has encountered academic rigor comparable to her out-of-state public education. It has been startling to have her fully repeating content that she had in 7th grade as in her non-IB prep courses. In no way is this a reflection of the quality of the teachers or school administration, but the curriculum and scope and sequence being offered. The IB program provides a high and rigorous academic standard. Students in the program receive significant post-secondary opportunities and funding. To lose this program would be detrimental and consequential for students in the program, including my own. And to take it from them is truly unconscionable. At least allow the students in 9th through 11th grade who are currently in the program or pre-program to finish it. I also come to advocate for the children and staff at Howard T. Ennis. Were you aware that the entire secondary team of middle and high school teachers is eligible to be RIFed due to displacement, a process which began in our building today? Not a single teacher on the team is a new teacher. We have 68.5 years of teaching experience and 5 master's degrees. We all left tenured situations to come specifically work at Ennis because Michelle Murphy is awesome, but we also believe in the school, the students, and believe strongly in working for our school administration. Parents deserve to know that there is a chance that their children will be taught by a teacher who doesn't want to be there, but has to take the only job available for their certification. Parents deserve to know that class sizes will increase, thus attention to students may decrease. The community deserves to know that you are actively cutting many critical support staff positions whose primary job is to ensure the safety and well-being of your most vulnerable population. This district brags that it outperforms the state, and while that may be true, it's very misleading. Well below half of students assessed are not proficient in reading or math. A teacher will tell you that these are failing grades. Students in the IB program dramatically outperform these metrics. I can confidently say that these are not the failings of your teachers and school-based staff, and it does not have to be like this. The students that you are harming were not at the table when you failed to fiscally act 3 to 5 years ago.
15 seconds.
The students that you are harming were not at the table when distracted by scandals. The students and community deserve better. Please don't allow your next decisions to harm students more than you already have. Do not rectify your mistakes at the expense of children, particularly those at Howard T. Ennis and the IB program at Sussex Central High School. Thank you for your time.
Jay Collin.
So I'm here to support the International Baccalaureate program. I have 2 students in the district that have been here since, we've been here many years, and so they started in kindergarten. My older daughter, Eva Cullen, graduated in 2023. The younger daughter, Zoe Cullen, she's a freshman at Sussex Central. She's in the pre-IB program. So there's a great need for this program, and I wanted to read a letter from my daughter, Eva Cullen, which she had addressed to you all, and so you will probably be getting a copy of this. So, dear members of the school board, my name is Eva Cullen, and I am proud to have been the first IB diploma recipient of 2023 at Sussex Central High School. I'm currently attending Columbia University, where I study astrophysics and applied mathematics, an opportunity that would not have been possible without the rigorous preparation I received through the IB program. The IB program, particularly the coursework in IB English, provided me with the critical reading and writing skills that are essential not only for academic success, but also for navigating the demanding humanities curriculum at Columbia. The analytical writing and reading skills honed during my time in the IB program have been paramount to my university education. In addition to the strong foundations in science and mathematics that the IB curriculum offers has been instrumental in my transition to college-level work, the analytics approaches developed through IB coursework, especially through the extended essay and internal assessments, equip me with the technical skills necessary to communicate mathematical research and to engage in meaningful scientific inquiry. Beyond academics, the IB program at Sussex Central High School has significantly shaped my ability to conduct research and think critically about global problems. This has directly influenced my current work, ranging from seismological computation modeling at the Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory to exploring hydrodynamical computational modeling of stars at the Bartol Research Institute at the University of Delaware. Although I now pursue my studies at Columbia, my connections to the University of Delaware and Sussex Central High School remain strong. From the bottom of my heart, I support the continuation of the IB program, as it has not only provided me with the essential skills, but also prepared me to thrive in a competitive academic environment. Without this program, the quality of college preparation at Sussex Central High School would be greatly diminished. It is critical for the IB program at Sussex Central High School to retain its funding.
15 seconds.
Please consider the futures of countless Sussex Central High School graduating, pursuing higher education. Thank you, Eva Cullen.
Elizabeth Hicks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elizabeth Hicks, and I'm the Vice President of the class of 2027 at Sussex Central High School. Today, I am here to talk about the recent failure of the referendum and the impact that it will have on the schools across our district. To the best of my knowledge, discussions have already begun about the potential cuts to staff, extracurricular activities, and academic programs. Non-tenured teachers, sports teams, clubs, and advanced academic pathways, many of which students deeply value, are in danger. To begin, I would like to speak about staffing. We are already experiencing a teacher shortage. Reducing the number of non-tenured teachers will only make that worse. This semester alone, my classes average from 30 to 35 students. If staffs are cut, the number could rise to 40 or more students per class. This would directly impact the quality of learning and a student's ability to feel seen, heard, and supported within the classroom. Some of the most impactful educators I've had are at risk simply because they are non-tenured. My former AP Human Geography teacher and my current Algebra 2 teacher are two examples. They don't just teach, they adapt their lessons to all learning styles and care about students as people. They are the kind of educators who help students succeed academically and grow as an individual. I know my experience aren't unique, as students across the district benefit from teachers like them. I hope the value of a teacher brings is not defined by their tenure status, but by the difference they make in a student's life. Next, I would like to speak on extracurricular activities. Clubs provide more than just an after-school involvement. They create communities. For many students, these spaces are safe havens. The same is true for sports. Athletics are an essential outlet for thousands of students across the district. For some, sports are more than just games. They are families and they are homes. Personally, I played 2 varsity sports, and I know I would not be where I am today without the foundation built through playing a middle school sport. Cutting middle and high school sports removes an essential part of the student experience and the development of Finally, academic programs. Programs such as International Baccalaureate Program and the Advanced Placement Programs are possibly at stake due to the failed referendum. These programs allow for student success and comply with students who are able to be challenged at an exceptionally high level. By cutting these, students are not challenged and in turn become bored in the classroom. To close, the failure of the referendum doesn't just affect numbers on a spreadsheet, it affects people. It affects our teams, our teachers, our clubs, and the opportunities that shape who we become. I urge you to consider the real lives behind the programs and decisions that are made due to the referendum. We are not just students, we are the future leaders, educators, athletes, and innovators of the next generation. And we need your support to help continue growing to who we can be. Thank you for your time.
Todd Phillips.
Good afternoon. I am Todd Phillips, and I'm currently a member of Sussex Central High School. I have been part of the International Baccalaureate Program for the past year, and I stand before you today as a student, but as someone who has experienced firsthand the impact of the International Baccalaureate Program. Your decision to possibly cut IB from the Indian River School District is not just about removing a class or diploma option. It is about taking away an opportunity that shapes futures, strengthens our community, and prepares us for the real world. IB is more than a challenging academic program. It teaches us how to think critically, manage our time, and approach problems from multiple perspectives. For me, IB has been a life-changing experience. It has pushed me beyond my comfort zone, helping me develop skills that I know will benefit me through college, my career, and life itself. Through courses such as Theory of Knowledge, I've learned to question the world around me, and also through IB coursework, I've gained the ability to analyze, adapt, and think on a deeper level. And through the program as a whole, I have become a more well-rounded and confident individual. But this isn't about me. This is about all the students in our district who will be denied the same opportunities if IB is taken away. Without IB, students lose access to globally recognized education that prepares them for the top universities and careers. Without IB, our district loses a program that attracts talented teachers, enhances academic standards, and gives students a competitive edge. And without IB, our community loses young leaders who are trained to think critically, communicate effectively, and solve real-world problems. Cutting IB is not just a setback for students, it is a loss for our entire district. It sends a message that we are willing to limit our potential to take a step back when we should be moving forward. Our future doctors, engineers, entrepreneurs, and innovators who are in these classrooms right now, why take away from the very program that is helping them grow into the leaders of tomorrow? If IB is removed, we are not just cutting a program, we are cutting futures. We are limiting opportunities. We are making a decision that will have long-term consequences, not just for students, but for our entire community. I urge you to reconsider and to invest in education. We should invest in the future. We should keep IB in the Indian River School District. Thank you.
Stacy Robinson.
Tough act to follow those kids. My name is Stacy Robinson. I am the specialist on the Delaware Professional Standards Board, the director for the Delaware affiliate to the National Association of School Nurses, a 10-year veteran employee, and the float nurse for our district. I'm here today to speak on behalf of the roles of school nurses, and my position is listed as temporary. So I would like to express how important it is to maintain safe and consistent care for our students. I am a tenured employee, and the thought of having to bump another staff member out of their job disheartens me, especially when there is need for all of our positions and mine. School nurses are required by law in our Delaware schools. In the 23-24 school year, nurses performed 69,509 individual student visits. 89% of our students saw their school nurse. In addition to operating a small walk-in clinic, I also assist our nurses to case manage every kid that's been given a diagnosis and needs management through a 504 or IEP planning, evaluate every yearly emergency card that comes into the school, as well as all entry and vaccine requirements, and the yearly physical for every athlete who competes in a scholastic sport. We screen every student in grades K, 2, 4, 7, and 9 for vision and hearing, and every student in grades 5 through 9 for scoliosis. In the 23-24 school year, nurses performed 17,295 screenings and referred any kid with an identified need to the community for services. We manage all the medical needs for every student attending a field trip, every pregnant student, every student being managed for prevention of infectious diseases, and coordinated to ensure safe drivers are behind the wheels of cars and driver's education. We monitor attendance and assist with obtaining documentation from providers for homebound and medical leave. We make sure our emergency equipment is operational, including AEDs, oxygen, office supplies, and medications, things like EpiPens, albuterol, and Narcan, all while ensuring that we meet our own professional obligations for licensure both as nurses and educators on our own time, frequently missing our lunches, our planning, and bathroom breaks. This is the short list. There is so much more. We are the only professionals in the building qualified to do our jobs. Documented studies have shown that for every dollar spent on school nursing services, $2.20 is saved on productivity costs and wages. In our district, we have students with chronic conditions in every building who receive monitoring multiple times a day for diabetes, asthma, rare diseases, behavioral disorders, and we are expected to understand disease processes and the individual needs of every kid in the building. Not to mention, we are responsible for calculating medications and dosages that could cause death if administered improperly. Nurses are pooled in multiple areas, stretched thin, and are proven to be one of the areas of highest need in schools, and consequently, the area where you are most likely to get sued if there are mistakes. My position takes some of this burden away from the rest of our nurses. I ask that the risks versus benefits of the safety and well-being of our students be considered. If you eliminate my position, there simply might not be time to provide for anything other than an emergency and the scope of practice we are bound to by licenses and laws. All kids will suffer. We are the primary healthcare providers for so many of our students. Think long and hard about what that means when you look at school nursing jobs. Students deserve health equity, and I am happy to speak with anyone at any time who thinks differently. Thank you.
Eric Savdar.
My name is Eric Savdar.
My brief comments here tonight aren't just for members of the school board, they're for every adult present. This robust educational system we've all been spending our careers building and maintaining for our students doesn't just begin and end with the curricula we provide. It's not just about test scores or about the enriching extracurricular programs we run. It's not about the money we raise, earn, spend, who we hire, or who gets elected to the board. It's about what all of that and so much more means when taken together year after year. Stability. The picture we paint together over time of 4-year-olds running into their preschool, bookended by the picture of those same children walking proudly across the graduation stage 14 years later. That picture can only be created if we can provide a strong enough canvas and maintain it long enough for the paint to dry. The work of providing that stability falls on all of us. It's all too easy for us to forget that most people in our community don't really know what our jobs actually entail or the challenges we face. The same is certainly true for the jobs and challenges faced by administrators and board members. But here's the thing. It's not the community's fault that they don't have the same institutional knowledge as us. None of us knows what we don't know, and knowing that is really important. For all of the newspaper articles, television and radio interviews, online promotional videos, alert now messages, and glossy postcards advertising the referendum, only about 10,000 people came out to vote, which sounds like a lot until you realize that there were actually 85,541 eligible voters. It failed by just 675 votes, and this speaks volumes to either a general sense of apathy among the voting public or a complete lack of awareness that a referendum was happening at all. So how can we provide stability for our students if the community we serve doesn't know that there's a referendum designed precisely for that purpose? Or if they do, but they're very understandably less informed about our work than we are? To my fellow educators, we must educate them. It's what we do. And to that end, I assert that now that in the year 2025, the era of smartphones and social media, face-to-face human contact and interaction has once again become the novel and unique way of exchanging ideas. Might it be uncomfortable and stressful? Yeah, probably. But that's what progress and growth require. Being willing to be a sounding board to another person's opinions would likely make them more open to hearing you out on yours. It's really hard to dislike someone if you take the time to sit down and have a respectful and meaningful conversation with them. There will certainly be more referendum, and based on how these recent results turned out,
15 seconds.
The work of passing the next one must start now. Not through online diatribes, not through social media shaming, but face-to-face, person-to-person in a way that demonstrates true humanity and what it really means to be educated, with malice towards none.
James Wheatley.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is James Wheatley. I am the secondary mathematics specialist here at the Indian River School District. I also volunteered to help out creating the instructional and promotional videos for the referendum. When Cabinet first met, Dr. Owen said that we would have to burn a lot of midnight oil, and I definitely did that. I sacrificed family time, job opportunities for my business, downtime, put all my energy into encouraging informed decisions for the March 20th vote. Creating videos, managing social media, answering questions, countering misinformation, it took a lot of significant effort. I faced public attacks on myself, my colleagues, my supervisor, along with private messages from fake accounts, questioning my job and calling specialists worthless. These challenges make it pretty hard to sleep at night. Many have told me that this isn't my job and wonder why I put myself in this position. My response is simple. You're right, it's not in my contract, it's not in my responsibilities, it is not my job, but it is my duty. It is my duty because I see hungry, non-tenured teachers that have the same qualities that I had when I first started, and they are thinking about leaving. It is my duty because I assured veteran teachers who moved here from halfway across the country and another from Maryland that they wouldn't have to worry about IRSD, and now they feel uncertain, uncomfortable, untenured, and unsafe. It is my duty because I recommended to a family friend 2 years ago that he should leave Pfeiffer Middle School, come to IRSD. He sold his home, he moved his family and 3 kids down here, and he recently lost his job on Friday. He will no longer be employed here come September. It is my duty because there's so much uncertainty and lack of communication that even tenured teachers are asking for letters of recommendation. In one of my videos, I explained that school funding is like a three-legged stool, local, federal, and state, and our district operates similarly. Cabinet, the board, IREA, everybody plays a significant role. While none of these entities directly handles the referendum, each has a responsibility and duty to fulfill. Cabinet, the board, and IREA, we all have a duty to work together without delay to ensure that we can have clear communication with our community and educators. It's critical that we cannot impede one another or wait for the next meeting to act. We must collaborate now, ensuring that the information is distributed to teachers in the community as fast as possible. If we have to burn the midnight oil, make compromises, have emergency sessions, take heat from the community, we must do whatever is necessary now to quell the fear of the unknown. It is doing more damage to our schools on the front lines than you could possibly imagine, and I think you can see the fear of the unknown with the IB program tonight, even though, as far as I understand, and I don't know everything, that hasn't even been discussed yet. The public and our staff need to know exactly what is happening now that the referendum has failed, and if we want any chance of success at the next one, we must be absolutely clear about what is at stake. There can be no uncertainties or maybes for the next attempt. All of us together need to be better for our teachers and our community, and we have all the right people in all the right spots. I recognize that these jobs are extremely hard, but it is our duty, and trust us that everyone will rally behind you. IREA and the cabinet in order to pass the referendum if those lines of communication are clear and we understand. This was our third highest voter turnout for the referenda since 2016. I think with all legs of our stool working, I think we can get this thing passed. Thanks.
Rafael Ferreira Juarez.
Good evening, and thank you for your time. I stand before you to address the proposed removal of the International Baccalaureate program. IB has consistently been one of the strongest academic programs in our district, producing students who earn significant scholarships and gain access to top universities. I won't pretend our district's financial problems do not exist. They do, but I refuse to believe that the answers strip away the opportunities from those who have earned them. Even as our school board wrestles with budget issues, a larger battle unfolds at the federal level. Donald Trump and his caucus at this very second are taking deliberate steps to dismantle the Department of Education, while discussions often focus on teacher pay or the operational challenges faced by districts. These debates too frequently overlook the very students the system is meant to serve. In fact, as district leaders debate fiscal adjustments, the federal decisions continue to sideline the critical needs of students who rely on these supports. Without federal assistance, students face the mounting burden of student loan debt alone. Programs like IB connect intellectually gifted students to opportunities that break the chains of financial instability. Education should be the last place we cut funding from, not the first. In the words of Ludwig Wittgenstein, the limits of my language are the limits of my world. In the same way, removing programs like IB narrow our intellectual horizons, confining us to a society where education and intellectual growth are undervalued. The IB learner profile empowers students to face challenges with an open mind, and if anything, I believe that this program should be offered to every student. By segregating students into different academic tiers, we risk the reinforcement of a societal structure that stifles cognitive development and limits the potential of those labeled as less capable. We talk about preparing the next generation for success, but how can we do that if we take away the very programs that elevate these students? Instead of eliminating IB, we should be looking for solutions that preserve and expand educational opportunities. I stand before you not as an IB student or as a first-generation Mexican American who has faced adversity among these times, but as a fellow human being who believes in the transformative power of education. I ask you to reflect on this profound impact of this choice that will have on not only me, but on every student whose future is made possible by the opportunity IB provides. Thank you very much for your time.
Gabriel Perez Mercado.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gabriel, an international baccalaureate student who plans to graduate the program in the class of 26. The IB program is not just a school program, but an investment in not only mine, but countless others enlisted or enrolled students' futures. I've come to speak on behalf of the present, hopefully future, of IB students to come. When I was first introduced to the potential removal of the program, I wondered two things. Will I and others have come to lose valuable education and waste crucial time in learning? Second question, do I and other students have a say in this? I've not come to overshadow the financial issues present within the school district, although I cannot say the same for the financial issues overshadowing the IB program. To answer my first question, I'll use an example from today's class. We held an oral discussion that was student-led with no teachers involved in our English class. The book Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut, commonly banned in America, is an anti-war book. A common phrase, "so it goes," that is used to symbolize overlooking death and disasters that occur in the book is a reoccurring motive, that war has been normalized and absurdities of war's logic and reasoning. It is ironic, as this applies to this, by the way we are trying to solve the school system's crisis is by destroying the intended principle of quality education. The lessons we learn from the program will be cut and valuable time will be meaningless. So to answer, yes, I believe we are losing the foundation of what education is meant to serve to the community and its valuable future. Now leading to my second question. Although I and others have stood to plead our case for IB, I truly believe that my words are like Kurt Vonnegut's "so it goes." I am yet a soldier with no command over difficult circumstances nor outcomes, but I am here to fight for what I can. I'm not here to criticize any judgments you choose in the future, but I heed that my and other words are as valuable as the knowledge provided within this outstanding program of International Baccalaureate. Thank you for your time.
Now we'll move on to new business, 6.01, school choice applications for the year 24-25. Mr. Lewis.
Good evening, everyone. On your board docs this evening for your 24-25 school choice applications, excuse me, you will find a total of 12 applications. We are asking to accept 11 of those and deny one due to discipline and attendance.
Any questions, concerns, or comments? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That is unanimous. 6.02, school choice applications for 25-26.
You will find a total of 3 applications, and we are asking to accept all 3 of those school choice applications.
Any questions? I would entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Lewis. 6.03, the 25-26 district calendar.
Good evening. The board has before it the recommended 25-26 district calendar. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer those. And if not, if the board would take a vote on the calendar for 25-26.
What is the latest we can take a vote? Is it tonight or April's meeting?
We can go in April. It's due to the state by April 31st.
Any questions, concerns, comments? Entertain a motion to accept.
Make a motion to accept the calendar.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. 6.04, county impact fees.
Thank you, Mrs. Wright. I ask if Mrs. Smith could join us at the podium. Some of you may recall that we reviewed the possibility of a voluntary school assessment, specifically impact fees, back in 2023. The board at that time passed a resolution to submit to the Sussex County Council encouraging the consideration of said impact fees. Obviously, as we've learned over the last couple months, impact fees would be very beneficial to our school district. And I do not believe there's a widely known understanding that we do not receive impact fees based on the building going on in our area. So we have drafted a resolution for your consideration this evening. I have asked Mrs. Smith if she could share some of the code associated with what the county council could indeed consider.
Yes, so the previous resolution referred to budget epilogue that added language that gave Sussex County Council a deadline to approve or to consider the VSA. That has actually been codified. It's now in Title IX, Section 6961 of Delaware Code, and the deadline has been removed. So it's still in there, stating that should Sussex County approve voluntary school assessment, the rules will be so on and so forth. So that is the modification to the resolution from the previous one.
And I will share, during that time, Mrs. Smith did attend a county council meeting and shared some specifics with the council and encouraged consideration for this. So we are happy to answer any questions from the board this evening in consideration of this resolution.
As a board that needs and wants this to happen, are there any recommendations on what we can do other than this to move forward?
So I would encourage anyone to reach out to their county council member via email or phone or whatever. Their contact information is on the county website or at the county council meetings.
Okay, do you want to, if we're in agreement to go ahead and send this to the county council, I would entertain a motion to do so.
So moved.
We have a motion and we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
6.05, Selbyville Middle School Unified Basketball.
Thank you. I do see Athletic Director Mr. Bear here. Mr. Bear, can you join us in case there's some questions associated with this proposal? Those of you that were in attendance at the most recent committee meetings were able to hear the proposal for unified school basketball at Selbyville Middle School and the potential for it to be involved in other programs, other middle schools within our district. I think Mr. Bear did a nice job of explaining the proposal, the benefits, some of the logistics associated with this, but most importantly, you also discussed how this could be handled in-house. The coaches would be volunteers.
This will be all volunteer. I've already reached out to several outside organizations, Delaware Special Olympics being one of them, who's already gave us a seal of approval to go forward, and they are willing to help us with anything. The town of Selbyville, the Church of Salem, has spoke to Ball for All, and they are all, looking in and looking forward to helping with it. It would not cost the district anything. All the people that would be willing to do it or wanting to put in their own time, it would turn to place a month of February, so that way it would not impact any other sports. It would only last a month long. We would try to do it in-house first, because that's where I'm trying to go forward, is try to get permission to be able to see the interest in inside of our school. Just walking around and talking to students and seeing and witnessing the unified program at the high school and the kids that actually went and watched some of those games, I think I'm going to be able to at least probably get 3 or 4 teams just in-house for us to do inter-squad scrimmages through like a club intramural thing during that month. The only thing that might come at the point would be transportation. But again, I still got the outside organizations who are willing to do with that. And the transportation would be because I've spoken to Todd Furman in River High School about the potentially of doing a unified night, where instead of playing at our gym, that we would have one special night where all the teams get to go play against each other at the high school.
Any questions, concerns, comments?
I want to thank you for doing this. I think it's a great program, and I think both our mainstream athletes and our special education athletes really benefit from the unified program, so thank you.
It's something that's in my heart right this minute, because getting to watch I've been following the unified for years, but then when my daughter got to participate this year, I really got hooked on it, so yeah.
think it streamlines right into the high school very nicely.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And obviously, they've had a lot of success, so thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay, so no other questions, concerns, or comments. I'd entertain a motion to accept it.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
6.06, Sussex Central High School uniforms for cross-country, fall cheer warm-ups, fall cheer, girls volleyball alternate uniforms.
Thank you. I know Dr. Davis is going to join us here at the podium. So all the uniforms there do meet the color criteria. They were reviewed at committee meetings where they can. I do not believe there's flags on the cheerleading uniforms, but those uniforms that can accommodate certainly do. And again, they are there in board docs. Happy to answer any questions. The only one that is not there is the girls volleyball alternate uniform. And my understanding is, do you have one available to us today, Dr. Davis?
Yeah, it was supplied. Tammy Smith got it on March 11th. So our representative that does all our uniforms, she knows that they require the flag. So inadvertently, she did not put it on. She has to cut and paste it. So the proposal that was there actually has the American flag, and there's no additional cost.
You said you sent the girls volleyball alternate uniform,
Oh, not the black.
Okay.
No, I did not send the black.
Okay. I thought we might have that available here tonight. It is not here.
I do not have that.
Okay. So would like to consider that, it sounds like, so we'll need that at a future committee meeting, so we can.
All right, my
view.
apologies.
Yes.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion to
Sorry.
accept six.
We're missing the mock-up on the cheer. It's not in, it's there, but there's only a skirt for the actual uniform. The warm-up is there, but there's no colors, and there's only showing one skirt that I see.
I see the skirt, and then it lists the colors that are associated with that by number, but I do not see a top with that. So we can certainly, I'm sure you can
I
get
can
that.
send it to you right now.
I'm sure
It's
you
part
can
of the link in the proposal. But
And this is for the fall?
yes.
Okay. So if we could get that, if you could send that our way, we'll have that for
Be happy
future
to send it.
consideration.
So we have the skirt, if it's that one, you're looking at the picture. Okay.
So for consideration, the cross-country, the warm-up jacket, I do see that there, and the girls' volleyball.
That's it. Okay, so it's within the guidelines and the time frame for the new uniforms. 6.06, that would be cross-country, the fall cheer, warm-ups, and the girls' volleyball. Any questions, concerns, comments? I would entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. 6.07, Nutrition Services, Shelbyville Middle School dishwasher replacement. Mr. Toomey.
Good evening. Shelbyville Middle School is in need of a new dishwasher. The current dishwasher is the original unit installed when the building opened in 1995. I'm recommending the contract be awarded to the low bidder, $11,400, for the amount of $60,465. This purchase is fully funded by the Nutrition Services budget and does require a motion and approval of the board.
Any questions?
Mr. Timmy, what's the normal lifespan of those?
We just replaced the one last year, same year, 1992 at Millsboro Middle. We replaced a freezer out there. 30 years, that's good.
So we've gotten our use out of it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have a lot of them. They are brown in color, and they say CLS on the door. Any of those are in that 92, 97 timeframe. So I'll be coming to you with them as they have need.
Thank you.
A motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. 6.08, Nutrition Services, East Millsboro Elementary, outside freezer replacement.
Yes, another one of these from 1992. It can no longer be structurally repaired. I'm recommending the contract for the East Millsboro outside freezer be awarded to the low bidder, again, $11,400 for $21,839. This expenditure also fully funded by Nutrition Service budget and does require a motion and approval of the board.
Any questions, concerns, or comments? I'd entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Toomey. 6.09, District Air Quality Response Coordinator, Mr. Dooley.
Thank you. I'll cover this.
Okay.
Per Title 14, Chapter 43, subsection 4303, which is procedures for indoor air quality complaints in public schools, one aspect of that code is on or before May 1st, 2025, each school district's superintendent shall do all of the following, including identify an individual within each school district to be responsible for receiving indoor air quality complaints, for reporting such complaints to the superintendent, and also make that available on the website and have a form available. All that is occurring. However, we do want to officially designate Mr. Dooley as our air quality response coordinator. So I would ask for the board's consideration with that this evening.
Any questions, concerns, or comments? I'd entertain a motion as such.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. 6.10, Sussex Central High School modular classrooms. Mr. Dooley?
Good evening. As discussed at the Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting, we are seeking school board approval to relinquish the Sussex Central High School modular classrooms at the end of the current school year. We will follow the state's approval process for this action. We are seeking approval at this time.
Any questions, concerns, or comments? How many are we looking at?
There's two.
Two. If not, I'd entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. 6.11, Sussex Central High School change order.
Okay. On your board docs for this agenda item, you will find one change order, which is for the seating in the Black Box Theater. This change order has been presented before the Buildings and Grounds Committee and is above the preliminary approval threshold as outlined under the board's procedures for change order approval thresholds. Mr. Brad Cowan with Richard Y. Johnson Construction is here to provide additional detail on this change order and respond to any questions. Mr. Cowan?
Thank you, Joe. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
As you recall, we continue to work through the process of completing the project and incorporating as many of the original bid alternates as possible. This particular item is a original bid alternate number 29, which is for the Black Box Theater. Overall, it included lighting, sound, rigging, and the telescoping bleachers that's before you today. This is just a piece of that original alternate. We're continuing to work on the remaining segments of that through some more value engineering. This particular element, the bleachers, on bid day were $287,000. We were able to work with the architect and the manufacturer to get the price down to $175,000 using some value engineering and alternate models. So we've run this past the architect, the engineer, and it's acceptable, and also Dave Ward, who handles all the theatrical for the school district. It's a similar bleacher setup as in Appoquinimink School District, and they're very happy with it. We did the research there as well. So tonight, we're asking for board approval for this particular item. And if you have any questions about it, I'll be happy to answer them.
Any questions, concerns, or comments?
The funding for this is included in the contingency, correct?
Yes, we have sufficient funding to include this in the project. The project continues on schedule and under budget.
And I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
6.12, Sussex Central High School change order notifications.
On your board docs for this agenda item, you will find 21 change orders, all of which have been presented before the Buildings and Grounds Committee, and all of which are being presented as board notifications, as they are below the dollar amounts outlined under the board's procedures for change order approval thresholds. Mr. Brad Cowan with Richard Y. Johnson is still standing next to me, and will respond to any questions you might have. Absent of any questions, we are seeking school board approval at this time.
Any questions, concerns, or comments? I would entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Old business, 7.01, major capital planning.
Thank you. The site work contractor has remobilized at Sussex Central and is working on various locations around the project. Exterior metal panel installation on the classroom wing is 90% complete. The majority of the interior wood doors have been delivered and are being installed. Mechanical, electrical, and fire alarm finishes are near completion in the classroom wing. Painting and flooring continues in the classroom wing. Installation of the gym scoreboard running track should also be completed this month. Floor wax is being applied in various areas of the building. Our executive group continues to meet monthly to explore cost savings, construction alternates, and project obstacles. That concludes my report.
Thank you. 7.02, referendum.
Thank you. As we've discussed here this evening, we are disappointed in the results of our March 20th referendum. Our unofficial results are 4,749 votes for, 5,424 votes against, for a total of 10,173 votes. I would like to just take a moment to thank everyone that was involved. There's too many to name personally because there was a lot of people that worked very, very hard to share information about the referendum, to present, create videos, et cetera. So again, thank you to staff within our buildings, within our district, and outside that played a part in sharing information associated with this referendum. Before I take any questions from board members, I do want to share that we do have a additional board meeting scheduled next Monday to consider our next steps associated with the referendum. We do have the ability to go back out twice within a 12-month period. So I do know that the board will be wanting to consider that, so we will discuss that at length next week. So happy to answer any questions associated with our processes, results, or anything in between with the referendum.
Do you have the numbers for the breakdown of each of the poll sites as to?
I do. It ranged with the amount of machines that were there, but let's see here. So some sites had actually 8 machines. Our fewest site was, a few had only 5, but our absentee ballots were 95 for, 112 against. At Georgetown Elementary School, we had 517 for, 609 against. At East Millsboro, 491 for, 629 against. Indian River High School, sorry, this is very small. 464 for, 604 against. Long Neck Elementary, 475 for, 678 against. Lord Baltimore, 867 for, 707 against. Millville Community Center, 861 for, 1,174 against. Selbyville Middle School, 504, 623 against. And Sussex Central, 479 for, 288 against.
Okay, so it says it's an action item. What are we going to?
We don't have to act. I put it on there in case there
Okay.
was any consideration for action this evening.
Dr. Owens, did you say we have the opportunity to go back twice, 2 more times in the next year?
No, one more time. So we can go twice to the March 20th, and we can consider one additional within a 12-month span.
I would like to thank Mrs. Smith and Mr. Wheatley and Mr. Schifano for all of the advocacy, and also Dr. Owens for speaking so much, so often, and really pushing. The results are disappointing, but I think that there is a path forward. And I think that everyone really did a great job, particularly the people that I named. But I know that there were lots more working behind them.
And also something to take into consideration going when we decide to go to the next one, which I guess will be decided the 31st. With the number of students that we have in the district, even if it's a single parent, if we had had all of those to vote, that would have been a big difference. It would have made a big difference. So we need to get, friends need to tell friends that need to tell friends that need to tell friends. It's a domino effect. The board sat here, tonight we heard all the people and talking about IB and the Excel and the teachers and all that. I'm not here to speak for the other 9 members of the board, but I believe that I can when I say not one of us sitting here wants to see a teacher go, wants to see a program cut, wants to see anything happen. But it's going to take a joint effort, and yes, we might have to tighten our belts, and if you're sitting out there in the public or you're somewhere and you hear something, you don't know whether it's right or wrong, please reach out to the district or to any of the board members. If we can't answer it, we'll make sure we find somebody that can. But unfortunately, a lot of stuff was posted on social media that was not correct. And sometimes people thrive on negativity, so I think that might have been part of it. But when we do go again, whenever that will be, I'm just asking all of you here within earshot to support it and to reach out to other people. And if there's something that we can do that we did not do, please feel free to let us know.
And too, with all the absentee, if you're working or if it's sports related, take advantage of that. If you know your schedule, whether you're going to be here or not, or you could take an extra shift at work or what have you, look ahead, plan ahead, and absentee vote by all means.
Please contact your county council representatives about the VSA.
7.03, GW Carver consent update. Dr. Winstead?
Good evening. We sent the quarterly updates at the end of second quarter, and we are continuing to host the Community Advisory Board. We had a successful meeting in March, and our next one is planned for June. And we continue to monitor the district plans for disproportionality, both with graduation rate and discipline. Any questions?
Thank you. Committee reports, 8 Buildings and Ground, Mr. Steele.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. The Building and Grounds meeting met on March the 10th. I was not there, I was ill at the time, but I think Dr. Owens went through and chaired that committee, but I will go through the report. We've already covered a good amount of it, particularly with the major capital referendum. The only part that we did not was the signage presentation. An overview of the interior and exterior signs was presented, including the look, placement, and functionality of all the various signs and logos. Moving on to the old business, the Buildings and Grounds Support Center presented their monthly order report. In the last 30 days, 67 tickets were open, 69 tickets were closed, and 39 tickets are currently active. And I'll say this, I've said it a couple times, that's a remarkable number, in my opinion, of the history of what we've gone through with Building and Grounds. And Mr. Dooley, I would have to say, you and Mr. DiGirolamo have done a fantastic job to make sure that a lot of these jobs are getting done, and hopefully staying under a good cost factor to get them there. The Futures Committee update, Tyler Bryan gave a presentation regarding the current status of the boundary options for the Sussex Central High School feeder schools and deadlines for decisions that have been discussed in the Futures Committee meetings. Presentation included critical dates, school board approval, state mapping coordination, and a whole host of other items such as school choice, effective family notifications, and comment considerations, East Millsboro capabilities or capacities, and elementary school to middle school feeder to feeder pattern consistency. If you know Mr. Bryan like I know Mr. Bryan, he's a very thorough gentleman, and he knows these things like the back of his hand. So we can, I think, accept what he told us as gospel. Move committee updates. There was a 4-move plan moving into the new building. Starting at spring break, VOTEC shops will be moved. The end of the school year, high school, middle school offices, nutritional walk-in, H-wing at the high school. Midsummer to middle school move would take place, and the fall and winter next year would be the renovated H-wing. The high school and middle school custodial teams will work together to facilitate summer cleaning with those moves. One area of concern that was discussed was the annual facility assessments and maintenance plan. Looking at the total estimated statewide need with all the older buildings is about $1.1 billion. The state, however, has, I believe, budgeted about $15 million in minor cap. So that leaves an insurmountable distance in trying to take care of some of the older projects that need to be done. And this disparity in funding, combined with the age and condition of the schools and the many needs around the district, is going to drive for the need for a master plan to decide on what items the district can reasonably afford to move forward with and what priority order will be for these items. Additionally, an example of one of the school's facility assessments was provided, as was an example of a maintenance plan. The annual deadline for submission of the board-approved facilities assessments and maintenance plan is May 1st of each year. These assessments and maintenance plans will come before the Building and Grounds Committee and the board next month. On a very positive note, the Indian River High School practice baseball and softball fields. The Indian River High School grounds crew had made substantial progress in getting playing and practice fields ready for the spring season. A positive appreciative statement from the Booster Club was read aloud, acknowledging the hard work and the results. Under new business, Mr. Toomey has previously discussed the need for the 2 items, the dishwasher and the freezer, and they were previously approved. The new air quality reporting program is something that is governed by the state, and a report has to be placed by March the 1st, 2025. With this tonight, we also nominated Mr. Dooley to be the the point person for our school district, to be the person who would report that directly to the state. Some athletic needs, Georgetown Middle School were discussed, outlining some softball and baseball fields, regrading and drainage, some of the deteriorating wrestling mats, and football surface improvements. It was a discussion regarding funding sources and limitations on priority versus other schools' needs, and also comparison to the Sussex Central Middle School sport teams fields. Subbyville had somewhat of the same concern. Mr. McCready's, the principal, outlined a few school needs, the deteriorating running track, stage lighting, greenhouse, water and propane supply. And again, there was a discussion regarding sources and limitations on priority versus other school needs and comparisons to other middle school. The meeting adjourned at 6:20. The next meeting will be 5 o'clock on April the 14th.
Thank you, Mr. Steele. 8.02, Comprehensive School Safety, Mr. Castle.
Thank you, Mrs. Wright. No report for this month.
8.03, Finance, Mr. Peden.
Thank you. We met on March 10th. We had already discussed and approved the Sussex Central cross-country team uniforms. We had previously discussed and approved the warm-up jackets for the Sussex Central High School fall cheer. We put on hold the fall cheer uniforms once we can take a look at them. We had previously discussed and approved the Sussex Central High School volleyball team uniforms. We put on hold the alternative Sussex Central High School girls volleyball team uniforms until we can look at the black purchased ones. Dr. Davis presented a request for the Sussex Central High School girls softball uniforms. These would be paid out of the athletic budget per the replacement schedule, and the uniforms follow the regulation uniform color requirements. This request is on hold due to being part of the agenda and being out of alignment with the Financial Committee's uniform review schedule. We had already discussed and approved adding a unified basketball team to Selbyville Middle School at no cost. Ms. Bunning presented a proposed school year 25-26 athletic and non-athletic ether schedules. These schedules were vetted through the principals and cabinet. Some of the EPER positions were removed from the list in anticipation of funding them through partial units. Example, 11-month versus 10-month. These schedules would be brought back to the committee with an estimate cost-saving analysis. And Ms. Smith reviewed the February 28th, 2025 financial reports. They'll be taken to action after she discusses them later this evening. And our next meeting will be on April 14th. Thank you.
8.04, Curriculum, Mr. Neal.
Thank you. Our committee met on March 10th at 4:30. There were 3 agenda items. The first was the early childhood entrance criteria. We're very fortunate to have some exemplary services for early childhood students in our district. The entrance for typically developing peers requires the following criteria. They don't qualify for special ed services. These applicants must be residents of the Indian River School District or children of full-time Indian River District employees living in Delaware. The application opens annually from March 3rd to April 15th. And after that period, students are placed on the wait list. And they must be at least 3 years old by August 31st of the application year. Preference is given as follows. Admission preference is given as follows. Returning enrolled children who are eligible for state-funded early care education program, children who are previously in special ed, siblings of current attendees, and children of full-time district employees. We also discussed the middle school honors criteria, which has been an ongoing area of discussion. I think we've reached a good point now. The criteria for admissions into our middle school ELA and math honors courses has been finalized using a teacher survey and data and curriculum committee feedback. We've had some robust discussion of that in recent months. So our next steps now, we're to a point now where we're ready to create the final document for the use of the schools, the staff, and we'll be communicating this information to students and their families. So hopefully we'll have smooth sailing moving forward. And then finally, we were visited by the two high school principals who shared an update of scheduling for the 25-26 school year. They're using processes that are consistent with fully semesterized schedules. So that's an ongoing thing, but everything is moving forward. So our next meeting will be Monday, April 14th at 4:30. Thank you.
8.05, DSBA Board of Directors, Mrs. Pryor.
We met on March 6th in Dover. The National School Board Conference will be held in Atlanta from April 4th through the 6th. Delaware has 38 board members and superintendents attending. Mr. Tall reported that the Public Ed Funding Committee will continue a comprehensive review of funding for all students at their upcoming meeting in March. They're also looking for ways to improve the existing unit system funding. He will report back at our next meeting, and we should have some new information from the State Department of Ed under new leadership at our next meeting, May 7th.
8.06, DSBA Legislative, Mrs. Briggs.
No report.
8.07, Special Education Task Force.
No
Mr. Neal. No report. 8.08, Policy, Mrs. Taylor.
Okay, we met on March 10th, and we had 3 policies that were up for second readings. CC, EE, or CC, Administrative Organization, EE, Transportation Service Management, and JG, Student Discipline. All need no additional changes, and we will proceed with second reading tonight. And Mrs. Wright will need to approve these policy changes with the board this evening. Policies that are under review, ECB 1, Indian River School District School-Related Traumatic Event Policy. The draft was reviewed, and there are no additional changes. We'll proceed with the first reading. Next policy under review, EHAA, Telecommunications, Access and Acceptable Use, Normal Review Cycle, no suggested changes. This was for review only. The next one was JECCA, School Choice. There are no changes to the policy. Updated building capacities were reviewed, and it was explained that the school capacity utilization number, which indicates a building's 85% capacity, will be the number used to determine school choice availability. Additionally, the updated school choice report has removed percentage references moving forward. The capacity utilization number versus current student count will be used to determine school choice availability. Our school choice policy confirms that any school exceeding the 85% capacity can deny school choice, and no changes are necessary to this policy. JHFA, Student Supervision, Normal Review Cycle, draft reviewed, no additional changes were recommended. We will proceed with the first reading. Next policy under review, LBD, Homeschooling, Normal Review Cycle with no changes. KLA, Complaint Procedures for Possible Policy Violations, changes made on attorney recommendations. Language was added that indicates this complaint process applies to policy violations only. The draft was reviewed with no additional changes recommended. We will proceed with the first reading. The meeting adjourned at 4:17, and our next meeting is scheduled for April 14th to begin at 4 p.m.
Okay, so we need a motion to accept, I believe I'm for action, JG, Student Discipline, that's the only one? It's the only one I have for action. Am I correct?
That action is associated with all the second readings.
All the second readings, CC, EE, and JG.
Okay.
Correct?
Right, for the seconds.
Right.
So that's the CC administrative, the EE transportation, and then the JG for student discipline.
Right.
Okay, any questions on those? I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. Thank you, Mrs. Taylor.
You're welcome.
8.09, IREA representative.
Good evening. Blair Catlin Brown, school social worker, housed at SDSA, and IREA Vice President for Teachers. Starting with the less stressful stuff before we get into the rest. Please put it on your calendar. Next Thursday, the 3rd, is our IREA Scholarship Fundraiser. If you remember, last year we were able to significantly raise the number or the amount of the 2 scholarships. So we really hope to be able to keep that going this year and grow it. So it'll be Thursday, the 3rd, from 3:30 to 6:30 at Grotto's. We'll be out on the patio. So I haven't looked at the weather, but bring a little jacket because we're going to have a lot of fun. We want everyone to be cozy, and we're going to have a lot of fun like we did last year. So we hope to see you all out there. If you can't make it, please remember that you can make a donation. It goes directly to students at IR and Sussex Central who want to go into some field of education. So we definitely want to keep supporting that. So we look forward to that going well like it did last year. Just piggybacking on the board action and the comments on the county council and BSA. We are a union, so action is what we do. Solidarity is a verb. So just giving some people who are listening some points that they can get involved. The council meets every Tuesday, county council does, at 10 a.m. Not every, they're off 2 weeks next week because I was going to try to organize something during spring break, but unfortunately they're taking a break too. But you can call in and you can go in person. So that is a nice perk. So anyone who's available at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, please consider calling in. You can just go to their website and they have all the information there. So let's keep that momentum going so we can have some action at the county level on that. Okay, now the more stressful stuff. So the referendum failed. I don't think I can oversell how stressed everyone is. I think it would be impossible. We don't know what's happening. We are scared. We are worried. We are feeling unappreciated because a vote against a referendum feels like a vote against us, feels like a vote against our students, feels a vote against what we do. Those of us like myself, our building reps, our other leadership team, you guys, the district, who choose to step into leadership positions, we feel even more stress because we're taking on the stress of others. But that's what we do. We do it because we love it, and that's what we're here for. I do want to say before I move on, anyone who feels uncertain, please know you are valued. IREA is behind you. We value you. We will continue to stand behind you. Some people want me to get up here and be mad about actions of this board or the district, and I can hear that. I understand their reasons, but right now, kind of piggybacking on what Jimmy Wheatley shared, we have to come together. We have to get this done. The district, the board, IREA, our staff, we have got to come together in this moment. Now, don't hear me wrong. Once it's all passed, we're going to make sure we continue to come to district committee meetings. We're going to continue. I love seeing those people up there who don't normally come. I love that. We're going to keep this going because we have got to keep eyes on, not necessarily out of distrust, but that is what our civic duty is. And this board operates better the more of us that are involved. So we need to keep that going. You know, how you guys can help, because I don't like to come up here and just, I want to give you some steps that we really could see from you guys. You know, when it comes to the why of all of this, I know that I'm pointing to Ms. Blanchard and Dr. Owens. We were all out there trying to educate the public and our staff. We got to continue doing that. It's not easy, as Jimmy has tried to explain in these videos, which are fantastic. It's not easy, but we got to redouble our efforts, do even more to counteract the misinformation. The how, this board, the district, keep communicating. Communicate to staff. Let them know every single step along the way. I know that sometimes it feels like it's too transparent or we don't want to upset people or worry people. I can tell you that the feelings of being in the dark are the worst feelings. Everyone I speak to generally would rather know the truth than be in the dark. So I encourage you to keep doing that. I continue to call for gentle leadership. I know that you guys have a job to do. I know the district has a job to do. School admin has a job to do to monitor us, do evaluations and everything. But again, I cannot overstate how stressed we are. We will do our jobs and we will do it well, but maybe this isn't the time for the thing that you want to fuss at us for. Maybe let's wait till we get this thing done, but we will get it done. So on that, the biggest thing you can do is when you guys meet on the 31st, please set a date. This can't be a negotiable. We have got to get back out there. We've got to come together and get this done. And let's bring all of our energy to the table. I want to redouble the efforts I did. IREA wants to do more. I know you guys want to do more. Let's get this done because we can, because every single staff member, every amazing program, every student matters, and there's no other option. And that's scary, but also gives us purpose. So let's lean into that purpose and get it done. Thank you.
Blair. I just wanted to say you also did an amazing job. Thank you. And which grotto's location?
Oh, sorry, Millsboro.
Thank you.
Yes,
The
that was-
Millsboro on 113.
Yes, right on the patio. Again, great job to Melissa Abbott turning that around. Ladama had their problems, so we weren't able to hold it there like we were planning, but Grotto's was able to step up and help us out. It'll be a fun night. Come bid on some stuff. I put something really good in the auction. I think people will like it. Hope to see you there.
Thank you.
Superintendent's reports, 9.01, monthly activities.
Thank you. They are posted within board docs. Obviously, the past month was consumed with all things related to referendum, so the full activities are there for your perusal on board docs.
9.02, district calendar change.
Thank you. Change of Selbyville Middle School's Honor Society induction ceremony from March 3rd to March 27th. Change in high school parent conferences on May 1st from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Change that to 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And I would ask for action on those items this evening.
I'd entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. Financial reports, 10.01, financial summaries for month ending February 28th, 2025.
Yes, the financial summaries on board docs are through the end of February, so we were 67% of the way through the fiscal year. We'd received 90% of our total budgeted revenue, 95% of budgeted discretionary revenue, and 99% of budgeted local tax revenue. We received approximately $385,000 in interest. We've spent 57% of total budgeted expenses, 65% of total discretionary expenses, 51% of our budgeted tuition-funded classroom expenses, and Howard Tiana spent 66% of their budgeted expenses.
Any questions? I would entertain a motion to accept the report.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. 10.02, detail information for month ending February 28th, 2025.
For that report, our student activity funding balance is approximately $191,000. We have $8.2 million in federal funds available and are holding $1.4 million in donations and student funds and internal accounts.
Any questions, concerns, comments? I'd entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. 10.03, major capital improvements for month ending February 28th, 2025.
We paid out $3.9 million in February.
Any questions, concerns, comments? I'd entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. 10.04, minor capital improvements for month ending February 28th, 2025.
In February, we received the FY25 allocation of the Enhanced Minor Capital Improvement Funds. The mini-bond bill that was passed this winter and signed by the governor removed the restriction that we've talked about previously of spending or encumbering all minor cap money, current and previous, in order to access those funds. So since that restriction no longer applies, we received the money. And that was about $913,000. So with all of those allocations, we've spent and encumbered approximately $5.1 million and have approximately $2.4 million remaining.
Any questions, concerns, or comments? I would entertain a motion to accept the report.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Communications.
Thank you. We have, the first four there are for Indian River High School, Georgetown Middle School, Selbyville Middle School, and Sussex Central High School, all to attend the BPA event on May 6th through 11th in Orlando, Florida. The next two are overnight trip, Indian River High School's Band and Choir, April 10th through 13th to Pigeon Forge, and Sussex Central Educator Risings program, June 25th to 30th through the 30th to Orlando, Florida. Next is an overnight trip by Selbyville Middle School's drone team, May 28th through 31st to Fairmont, West Virginia. And finally, overnight trip by Sussex Central High School and Sussex Central Middle School competition cheer, August 12th through the 15th to Honesdale, PA. And would ask for board consideration for those today.
Any questions, concerns, comments? I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? That is unanimous. 11.02.
Yes, use of facility requests, Sussex Central High School's auditorium, Sunday, May 11th, by the Take Two Drama Club. Next is the use of the John M. Clayton softball field, March 15th to 25th through November 1st, 2025, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. The times are listed there by Delmarva Freedom softball team, and the use of Sussex Central High School stadium and bathrooms by United Church on April 12th, 2025. Again, that would need board consideration.
Any questions, concerns, or comments? I would entertain a motion to accept the uses.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. Personnel. 12.01. Any questions, concerns, or comments? I would entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. 12.02, personnel addendum for March the 24th, 2025. Questions, concerns, or comments? And hearing none, I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. We have no contractual agenda. We have our notification of retirements. And now we have, 12.05, Southern Delaware School of the Arts Principal Hire Recommendations.
Ms. Wright, I'm going to make a motion to table this until our March 31st meeting.
Okay, we have a motion to table. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. We can do public comment before we go back in there. No.
Yeah, I don't know how long we'll be in there, so you
Do
can
it now.
you can do it now.
13.01 comes our second public comment session. No one has signed up for that, but if there's anyone in the audience that would like to come forward and speak, they may do so at this time. Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to recess and go into executive session.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. Monday school board meeting to order. There being nothing else to come before the board, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting's adjourned.